Welcome everyone once again to Love and Live God in Everyday Life. We are back here with Cyrus on knowing more about Meher Baba's life, knowing more about the avatar of our age.
So the important thing here is that there's no touch, there's no
words exchanged,
but the spirituality got transferred. And then Baba goes on, this was sometime in December 1915, Baba goes to Shirdi to have darshan of Sai Baba. Now when we say darshan, obviously he's gone to take what is his, the infinite power of God, because Sai Baba was a Kutub-e-Irshad and he was holding that power. And it might surprise people that when Sai Baba would go to, let's say, defecate himself, to ease himself, he would go into the field and he would be carried with a lot of
a procession of. It was called the
Lendi procession, the Lendi march. So he would go and he would sit there for hours and hours and then he would come back. So on one such occasion, Meherwan goes and he prostrates himself towards Shirdi Sai Baba, and Shirdi Sai Baba also pays his respects to young Meherwan, and that one divine word, that majestic word was uttered thrice by Sai Baba, Parvardigar, Parvardigar, Parvardigar. Baba later on says that with this utterance of the word Parvardigar, there was a transference of infinite power from Sai Baba to Meher Baba.
And this was along with the procession people that were there with Sai.
Yes, they were there.
So they would have witnessed this happening.
Yes.
And Baba was accompanied by his Khodu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Sai Baba indicates to young Meherwan to walk about 300 yards in a small dilapidated temple called the Khandoba temple, in which Upasni Maharaj was fasting under Sai Baba's instructions, And Upasni Maharaj was the other perfect master, the fifth perfect master. So Meherwan trudges, so to speak, and moves towards Upasni Maharaj. Upasni Maharaj is sitting at the Khandoba temple, at the gate of the Khandoba temple, at the door of the Khandoba temple. And the moment he sees this young boy walking, Upasni Maharaj gets up, picks up a stone and hits the stone with such force that the stone hits him exactly at the spot where Hazrat Babajan had kissed Meherwan, and it drew blood. But Meherwan was unafraid and he kept walking forward, and then both of them met each other, and it seems that Upasni Maharaj, wiped off the wound and the blood, and then they went into the hut, not the hut but the temple, the Khandoba temple, and they stayed there for 2 days, for 2 nights. What happened, what transpired, we do not know. But the Baba later on said that that hit or that stroke was the stroke of Jnana, or the infinite knowledge.
Wow.
So it became just as how it was the duty and the role of Hazrat Babajan to unveil young Meherwan and give him the experience of infinite bliss, give him the experience of I am God state, give him the experience of Aham Brahmasmi state. Now what is important is that he has achieved Aham Brahmasmi state, but such a person cannot be of any use to humanity or to creation unless and until he gets back the consciousness of the gross, the subtle and the mental world. He has to get back the consciousness, and that role was played by Upasni Maharaj. And it took 7
to get him back into the gross body consciousness awareness.
Gross body consciousness awareness, simultaneously retaining
the God
I am
consciousness.
God state. That is important.
Right.
You see, and that is an arduous task. That's a very painful task.
Right.
It is so painful that Baba used to shatter window panes with his forehead. He used to bang his head on the wall, on the stone, to ease the suffering of coming down.
Wow.
And that stone is still there at Baba's room, Baba's house in Pune.
Wow.
You see, where he used to bang his head. You see?
And all this while that banging of the head, and all this while that Baba was coming down. To gross body consciousness.
That's right.
What were the reactions of Shireen Mai and people, anybody who witnessed? Obviously with harsh activity, his forehead would be full of wounds.
It was all the time full of wounds,
Right.
And I think except for Sheriyarji, who knew that something spiritual is happening, and he was in a sense a witness to what is happening, everybody in the family thought that Meherwan has gone insane, and a lot of treatment was given, but that was absolutely of no avail. And several times Shirin Mai would go and to fight it out with Upasni Maharaj as well. And there's a nice anecdote where she goes and tells Upasni Maharaj that you have spoiled my son, you know, and I wanted him to marry, and I'm looking out for a nice girl for him and all that. And Upasni Maharaj jocularly said, why don't you find one for me as well? See? And then, you know, these kinds of exchange used to happen. It took 7 long years for Upasni Maharaj to perfect, in a sense, Meherwan by giving him the consciousness of all the 3 different worlds.
Wow.
Baba had said that there are 3 worlds: gross, subtle,
And
mental. Sthul, Shukshma, Mana. There are 3 different worlds. So he has to be brought down or pulled down all the way from mental to subtle to gross, and established himself as the avatar.
Wow.
And this was in 1921, end of 1921, where Upasni Maharaj folds hands, bows down to him and says, Meherwan, tu Adi Shakti hai, you are the primal force, you are the avatar, and I salute you. So that was the time when Upasni Maharaj and Meherwan, having met for last 6 months, you know, in 1921, when Meherwan goes off in a Tonga, and the sight is so beautiful that Upasni Maharaj sheds tears of joy.
And this is when he tells his disciples and followers that all that I had to give.
Now I am naked. I have got nothing with me. My key I have handed over to young Meherwan, and you should follow. But
him.
That was to a very few selected disciples.
The close disciples.
The close one.
Right. It's great to have all these insights from Cyrus, and we shall continue meeting him in our further capsules with all of you on To Love and Live God in Everyday Life.
Thank
Avatar
you.
Meher Baba ki
Jai.
Jai.
Jai Baba.